You are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're listening to this. Welcome to an early mornings and late nights with Channel Adrian TV. Sometimes, unfortunately, because of my schedule, I can't drop the video when I want to because of work or getting home late and trying to get some sleep. But I've been more interested in the WNBA playoffs. A'ja Wilson balling. I got to go see her in person. The stuff that she's doing on the court, I will probably say she will go down as in my personal opinion, best WNBA player ever. I think she's better than Candace Parker. I think she's better than Diana Taurasi. I think she's better. And of course, I respect the legends like Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Cynthia Cooper, all the greats. Because I've always watched women's basketball. I've always watched any sport, regardless if it was a man or woman, even women's soccer. But with that said, I would say she's probably going to go down as the best player ever. And to stick on sports, I know I talked about Joe Flacco getting traded because I just found out that news late, but I didn't really research who he's going. The fact that Joe Flacco is going to the Bengals, I think that's going to help their team. And let's say if Flacco's on that team and he could get them to like 9-8 or 8-6 or, somewhere around almost 500 or a little bit better. If Joe Burrow's healthy and come back, they can make a late playoff run and make the wild card. And you know how since it's the NFL, you only got to win one game in the playoffs. So anything can happen at that point. Like a wild card could be the number one seed. So that's interesting for that team. And plus, you have to do that move because making that move lets the players know you still want to win. Because Browning isn't working out. So Flacco could probably be a big boost for them. And speaking of sports, well, he doesn't play sports anymore, but Cam Newton has a podcast, and we all know him from his football career. And he said an interesting thing that I definitely do need to do a reaction video on, and I will do a full reaction video and drop it on my YouTube channel or other channels across all platforms. But I want to speak about it a little bit here. He talked about in the video how it's important for him to know his woman's past. And I know some people don't care about that, like her body count. People try to put it off on that. But what he more means is, let's say you're around somebody. He wants to know if you slept with that somebody. So if he's in the same room with him, he could check his temperature, because you know how people can talk passive aggressively or talk slick to you and you can't catch it because you don't know the whole story. That's more what he's meaning. In other words, if I'm always in the room with a guy and you slept with him, just let me know. And I feel him on that. But the only thing is, I know women don't do that because it's going to make them look bad. It's going to make them look like they get around. And then plus, there are some men who won't play that. Like me personally, if you have me around this man and don't ever tell me, I will never take you seriously now in the relationship. And women know there are some men who are stern like that, to where they'll just keep it to themselves because they just want to keep the relationship. Even though I think that's dishonest and you should want to tell people. For example, any woman that I'm dating, if she's in a room with a woman I have had sex with before, I would let her know up front. Like, hey, just to let you know, me and no girl had a past. It's over, but I just want to let you know that. And then plus, at the end of the day, I've always thought if you're not ashamed by it, you shouldn't have anything to hide from it. You should just be open and honest. And that's why if you're open and honest, you always come out in the good if you're honest. Now, being honest, you may not get the decision you want, and you may not come out with the outcome that you want, but just being honest, it helps everything. It makes everything so much better. Not only in relationships, in life, work, anything. And I didn't get a chance to talk about it because y'all know I do talk about sneakers on my channel because I do sneaker reviews. And CoolKicks got raided. Now, allegedly, they were buying fraudulent stuff because that's how they were able to track it. Because if I'm not mistaken, in the pictures, there were pallets of shoes, and I guess they supposedly just got a job or knew about the job. Whoever was part of the investigation team, they were able to track it to CoolKicks. I can't speak for the owner, knowing that they were buying stolen shoes, but me personally, I'm just talking about me. If I come across shoes that I know are coming from a person that has no deals with Nike, or isn't like a prominent figure or somewhere in that company to get shoes like that, that tells me that they're getting them from somewhere. So they're either coming from a warehouse. When I mean warehouse, they might be replicas, reps, or they're probably coming from back doors from stores getting inventory. But depending on what stores can't get that much inventory that fast. And then number 3, they could just be stolen merchandise, because people have seen how they're stealing stuff from trains, which has to be an inside job, because for you to know what train and then what station number and all those things, it's all an inside job. And I'm not saying CoolKicks is guilty, but that's something I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on. And I'll definitely talk about it more on my channel, because y'all do know I review sneakers and I love sneakers. Now, with that said, there's always this talk about the resale community and are resellers bad for the sneaker game or for shoes in general. For me, I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's y'all who buy the shoes. If the shoe is out of your price range or too high, you don't want to, or too high that you don't want to spend your own money, it's just basic supply and demand. For example, if people will price Jordan, let's say Jordans are like $400. If people don't buy them, Jordans are going to be like, okay, people aren't willing to spend $400. Let's lower the price. It's just like a lot of how these J's are sitting, like how the 5s are sitting, the 1s are sitting, some of the 3s, some of the 4s, the Aqua's sat. Some people really don't want them, or it might be too much out of their price range, or some people are waiting for the sales. Now, unfortunately, if they make them like the 10s, that will change, because it'll be limited supply. Because y'all do know, I did review the 10s, because I really wanted that steel gray colorway, and I want another pair to hoop in. And plus, that's a good segue into sneaker releases, because y'all do know this Saturday, those, I think 25th anniversary, whatever anniversary Air Jordan 5s are coming out. I'm not going to get them, but kudos to you if you do. And then number 2, then I don't even know if I'm going to get the taxis, but I do know I do want those shadow gray 10s. Like I said, one to hoop in and one to rock, because they rarely drop 10s, and this 10 isn't going to have the toe cap on it. But I do think, I don't know if they're going to be limited. I hope not. Now, the 10s I just got, I paid a little bit over retail, just $60 more. I was just patient, because remember, those shoes came out for $215 and then were taxed like around $225, $228. They came out on August. So I had to wait all the way till October, which isn't that long if you really think about it. But as much as I wanted those shoes, it was longer than what I wanted. But I just played the waiting game, and I ended up getting them for $260, $280. So you just got to be patient. So hopefully I don't have to go through that with the shadow gray 10s. And y'all know how I like to tie motivation, life advice in there. That's the motivation of life advice right there. Just be patient. Keep doing what you're doing. Whatever goal it is, like say that was a goal of mine, getting those steel gray 10s. Do my research, send out offers, just be patient. Because some people really just bought those just to make a deal. But if you're holding it for 3 and 4 months and you're not a big like a sneaker boutique and got cash flow like that, people were willing to let them go for $270, $280. You just got sending out offers and talk to them. So just stay patient. Patient always wins in anything in life. What a game by Jackson Dart. They was able to beat the Eagles. Now, this is 2 games in a row the Eagles lost. Number 1, their defense doesn't look the same as last year. For some reason, it doesn't look like they're able to get pressure with their front 4 anymore. So I don't know what's going on with that. Then number 2, since they lost their offensive coordinator, the Philadelphia Eagles need to figure something out. Barkley only getting 12 carries. And I know A.J. Brown wanted to get the ball more. But me personally, I think they're a run-first team. I think they are a run-first team. And y'all probably heard the cops in the background driving right by me. But The Eagles are a run-first team. I think that's the way they should operate, and then, control the clock. If you think about it, they had the same players pretty much from last year offensively. So whatever that new OC is doing in there, it's not working out with the team, and they got to figure out something out quick because they just lost 2 in a row, and the last thing you want to do is lose 3 in a row. But I still had them making a deep playoff run, but enough about the Eagles. You have to give credits to the Giants' young core. Jackson Dart performed well. They had a few receivers injured. Like we all know, Malik Neighbors was injured. So having the receivers that were playing, like Hyatt and other receivers, step up, was big for them. So I'm happy for the Giants, and it was a good football game. I don't want to take away credit from the Giants. They deserve that win.